Let me ask you a question that might sting a little bit. How many times in the past week have you let someone else hold the remote control to your life? How many times have you allowed a mean remark, a careless driver, or a rude email to reach deep inside your chest and squeeze your heart until you felt like you could not breathe properly? You believe you are angry. You believe you are upset. You think you are just reacting to the world around you. But I am here to tell you the hard truth that nobody wants to admit, which is that you are being played. You are handing over the keys to your peace, your happiness, and your mental health to people who do not even deserve a single second of your time. You see, we have been taught to believe that our feelings are just things that happen to us. We act like the weather. If it rains, we get wet. If someone says something mean to us, we get mad. If someone treats us with no respect, we get offended. It feels like it happens on its own, doesn't it? It feels like it cannot be helped. But that is the biggest lie you have ever been told. The truth is, no one can actually make you angry. No one. That sounds like it is impossible. I know it sounds like I am asking you to be like a robot, but I am not. I am asking you to wake up, because here is the secret that separates the strong people from the rest of the world. You are not actually angry at what they did. You are angry at what you decided that action meant. Imagine for a second that you have $1,000 in your pocket. It is your hard-earned money. Now imagine a stranger walks up to you on the street and demands you give them $500 just because they are in a bad mood. Would you give it to them? Of course not. You would laugh at them. You would protect what belongs to you. So why is your inner peace any different? Why is your energy, which is worth far more than money, something you give away for free to anyone who wants to take a shot at you? Every time you lose your temper, every time you sit in bitterness, every time you let someone ruin your dinner because of a comment they made 3 hours ago, you are paying them with your life. You are saying, here, take my happiness, take my focus. You can control my nervous system today. And the worst part is that half the time, they do not even know they have your money. They are sleeping peacefully while you are staring at the ceiling, burning with a fire that is only hurting you. This stops today. But to stop it, we have to go deep. We have to change the way you look at the world. Let us get one thing straight. Anger is a mask. It is a shield. It is armor. We use it because it makes us feel powerful in the moment. When you yell, when you snap, when you act like you are right, you feel a rush of energy. But that is not real power. That is weakness pretending to be strength. True power is staying quiet. True power is being still. True power is looking at the storm and not needing to become part of it. Think about the last time you really lost your cool. Maybe your partner forgot something important. Maybe your boss took credit for your work. Your jaw got tight, your hand squeezed into a fist, and your voice got loud. You felt like you were breathing fire. You told yourself, I am furious. But let us break that down. Are you really angry, or are you just hurt? Are you really mad about the text message, or are you scared that you are being ignored, that you are not seen, that you do not matter? We call it anger because anger is easier than admitting we feel broken. It takes a lot of heart to say, that made me feel like I do not exist. It is much easier to say, you are an idiot. But as long as you call it anger, you will stay stuck in the trap. You have to name what caused the feeling, not just the feeling itself. You have to realize that you are not fighting the person in front of you. You are fighting a ghost from your past. That mean comment from a coworker hit a nerve not because of the words, but because it reminded you of a time you felt helpless in school. That disrespect from your partner triggered the same feeling of being pushed away that you felt 20 years ago. This is what some people call the shadow. It is the hidden part of ourselves that holds our fears and our wounds. When someone upsets you, they are holding up a mirror to your shadow. They are pressing on a bruise that was already there. If you did not have the bruise, their touch would not hurt. So the next time you feel that heat rising, instead of looking outward at them, look inward. Ask yourself, what is this really about? Because if you do not get clear on the difference between the event and the truth, you will keep blowing up your life over things that are not even about the situation in front of you. But knowing this is just the first step. Knowing why you are bleeding does not stop the bleeding. You need a way to stop it. You need a plan for that split second when the world tests you. And make no mistake, the world will test you. There is a gap, a tiny little window of time between the moment someone treats you badly and the moment you react. A man who survived the worst kind of prison camps discovered this truth in the darkest place possible. He said that between what happens to us and how we act, there is a space, and in that space lies our power to choose our response. Most people live on autopilot. They have no space. Someone pushes a button and they react. Action and reaction. Action and reaction. They are like puppets. But you are going to make that gap wider. You are going to find that space. It starts with a pause. The moment you feel the rush of heat, the moment your stomach drops, you have about 5 seconds. That is it. 5 seconds before your brain gets taken over by your survival instincts. Your body thinks you are fighting a tiger, so it wants to fight or run away. But you are not fighting a tiger. You are just dealing with a rude customer or a difficult family member. You have to stop the habit. Count backward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It sounds very simple, but it is scientifically very powerful. You are moving from your emotional brain to your thinking brain. You are stepping out of the river of mess and pulling yourself onto the shore. In that silence, in that tiny pause, you get your power back. You remember who you are. You remember that you are the person watching the storm, not the storm itself. The monks in ancient temples trained for this. They understand that the loudest man in the room is often the weakest. They know that power is not in moving, it is in being in control. When you pause, you become someone who cannot be predicted. And that is a massive advantage. If people know how to push your buttons, they own you. If they know that one insult leads to one reaction, you are just a machine they can use. But when you choose silence, when you sit in stillness while they are losing their minds, you scare them, you confuse them. They do not know what you are thinking. They do not know if you are mad, calm, or planning your next move. Silence is the ultimate display of self-control. It shows that you are so sure of yourself, so confident in your value, that you do not need to explain, defend, or argue. Imagine the power of looking someone in the eye who is trying very hard to get a reaction out of you and giving them nothing. No anger, no defense, just a smile and silence. It destroys them. It takes the air away from their fire. But let us go deeper. Why do we feel the need to react in the first place? Why does it burn so much when people do not act the way we think they should? It comes down to one dangerous word: expectation. You are walking around with a script in your head. You have a script for how your partner should talk to you, how your friends should help you, how drivers should drive, and how the world should work. And when people do not follow your script, you suffer. You think, I would not have done that. I would have remembered. I would have been kind. Well, here is the hard truth you have to accept. They are not you. They do not have your heart. They do not have the way you were raised. They do not have your awareness. They are acting from their own level of pain, their own old wounds, and their own small view of things. When you expect them to act like you are setting yourself up for sadness. You are judging a fish by its ability to climb a tree. Stop expecting people to pay you back in the way you paid them. You give love because you are a loving person, not because you are trying to change them. When you drop the expectation that people should understand you, support you, or agree with you, you free yourself. You cut the strings. You stop waiting for emotional payments that will never come. This does not mean you accept being treated badly. It does not mean you let people walk all over you. It means you realize that their behavior is about them, not you. When someone throws a bag of trash at you, meaning their insults or their bad mood, you have a choice. You can catch it, hold it close, smell it, and carry it around all day. Or you can let it drop to the ground. You can step over it. You can see it for what it is. It is just waste that they are trying to get rid of because it is too heavy for them to carry. It has been said that people only throw at you what they cannot carry themselves. Their anger is their own overflow. Their mean words are their mirror. It is easier for them to point a finger at you than to look in the mirror at their own pain. You are just the container they are trying to pour their stress into, but you must refuse to be their dumping ground. You have to learn the art of being detached. And I do not mean not caring. I mean caring so much about your own peace that you refuse to connect it to the behavior of others. Attachment is the invisible thread that connects your peace to someone else. When they move, you move. When they go down, you go down. If your happiness depends on them texting you back, you are a slave to your phone. If your self-worth depends on them saying good things about your work, you are a slave to their opinion. You have to cut the thread. This is what wise thinkers meant when they said to control what you can and ignore what you cannot. You control your response. You control your honesty. You control your boundaries. You do not control their opinion. You do not control their actions. And listen to me. This is physical. This is about your body. Teachers tell us that your body is literally addicted to the chemicals of anger. If you have spent the last 10 years getting angry every day, your body wants that rush of stress. Just like a person hooked on a drug, when things are calm, your body feels wrong. It actually looks for something to be upset about just to get that feeling. So when you try to stay calm, it is going to feel weird. Your body is going to scream at you to react, fight, or do something. It will feel like you are dying. But you are not dying. You are cleaning your system. You are breaking the old paths in your brain that have kept you stuck in this cycle for years. You have to rewire your brain. You have to teach your body that it is safe to be calm. You have to practice peace like you practice a sport. You do not wait for the big game to start to practice. You train every day. You have to wake up every morning and practice who you want to be. You have to see yourself sitting in the middle of a fire and not burning. Imagine the freedom of walking through a busy market. Someone bumps into you, spills your drink, and you just smile and keep walking. Imagine someone screaming in your face and you feel nothing. No fast heartbeat, no heat, just clear observation. That is the level of mastery we are talking about. That is the level of being unbothered that makes you powerful. Because here is the truth about the loudest people, the ones who always have to have the last word, who always have to win the argument. They are the weakest ones. Their mind cannot handle silence. Their ego cannot handle being ignored. They are terrified of the quiet because in the quiet they have to look at themselves. But you are building a fortress. When you stop needing to be right, you save so much energy. Do you know how tiring it is to constantly prove your worth to people who are dedicated to not understanding you? It is a waste of your life. You are burning your limited time on this earth trying to win a game that has no prize. There is a saying that the person who angers you controls you. If a stranger on the internet can ruin your morning with one comment, they own you. If a driver can ruin your drive to work, they own you. If a coworker can make you doubt your talent with one look, they own you. Do you really want to be owned so cheaply? You have to decide right now that your peace is too expensive. It is not for sale. You have to treat your energy like a bank vault. You do not leave the door open for just anyone to walk in and take what they want. You set boundaries. And boundaries are not just about saying no to others. They are about saying no to yourself. Saying no to the urge to hit back. Saying no to the urge to gossip. Saying no to the urge to explain yourself for the 100th time to someone who is not listening. This is the path of the warrior. The warrior is not the one cutting and screaming on the battlefield. The warrior is the one standing still in the center of the mess. Their sword is away, their eyes are clear, and their heart is steady. The warrior knows that the battle is not out there. The battle is in here. And the hardest part of this battle is forgiving yourself for all the times you did not keep your peace. It is forgiving yourself for the times you let them get to you. for the times you lost your cool and gave away your power. That is okay. That was the old you. That was the you who did not know you had a choice. But now you know. Now you understand that every trigger is a teacher. Every annoying person is a lesson. They are there to show you where you are still not free. If they can trigger you, it means there is still a button there to be pushed. Your job is to remove the button. Your job is to heal the wound so that when they poke it, it is just skin. It does not hurt anymore. You are moving from being a victim of your surroundings to being a creator of your reality. You are moving from reacting to creating. Think about the ocean. On the surface, it is messy, waves crashing, wind blowing, storms moving. But if you go deep enough, down to the very bottom, it is absolute stillness. The storm can be happening up top, but down deep, the water does not even move. You are the ocean. Your emotions are just the waves on the surface. They are just the weather. Let it rain, let it storm, let the wind howl, but do not confuse the weather with the sky. You are the sky, unchanging, huge, and able to hold it all without being disturbed by any of it. So, how do we lock this in? How do we make sure that tomorrow morning when the pressure hits, we do not snap back into the old ways? We have to talk about the observer. The moment you can watch yourself getting angry, you are no longer just angry. You are now two things. You are the anger and the awareness of the anger. That split is everything. That is your freedom. The person who does not watch themselves is the anger. They are lost in it. They are the cloud. But you must practice stepping back and saying, I feel the heat rising. I feel my chest getting tight. I feel the urge to yell. Do not judge it. Do not fight it. Just watch it. Isn't that interesting? This person is trying to upset me and my body wants to fight. When you observe it, you stop feeding it. Emotions need you to identify with them to survive. They need you to say, I am angry. If you say, I feel anger passing through me, you are separating who you are from the temporary feeling. And when you stop feeding the fire with your story about how he should not have said that or how she is disrespectful, the fire runs out of fuel. It gets small and dies. This is what it means to be someone who cannot be messed with. It does not mean you are cold. It does not mean you are arrogant. It means you are grounded. It means your roots go so deep into the earth that the wind cannot knock you over. But there is a trap here, a dangerous one that catches almost everyone who tries to walk this path. And if you fall into it, you will end up more bitter and held back than when you started. You cannot just push down the anger. You cannot just swallow the poison and smile. That will kill you from the inside out. You have to change it. You have to change the energy completely. And the way you do that is by turning the story on its head. You change the story by turning your greatest enemies into your greatest teachers. You stop seeing them as the bad guys in your story and start seeing them as personal trainers for your spirit. Every time someone pushes your buttons, they are showing you exactly where you are weak. They are showing the cracks in your armor. If you are easily offended, it means you are insecure. If you are easily angered, it means you are not in control. So when that rude person shows up, instead of hating them, you should almost thank them. You should look at them and think, thank you for showing me where I still need to do the work. This is the ultimate change in thinking. You take the weapon they tried to use against you and you turn it into a tool to build yourself up. But to really lock this in, we have to talk about the currency of your life. I want you to imagine right now that you have $1,000 in your pocket. This is your hard-earned cash. Every cent of it represents your time and your effort. Now imagine a stranger walks up to you, makes fun of your shoes, and demands you hand over $500. You would not do it. You would laugh in their face. You would protect that money with everything you have. So why? Tell me, why is your peace of mind any different? Why do you hand over your expensive energy to cheap people when you spend 3 days thinking over a comment made by someone who does not even care about you? You are writing them a check with your life force. You are paying them for the chance to hurt you. you have to start seeing your energy as a limited resource. You do not have an infinite amount of focus. Every moment you spend angry at a driver, every hour you spend complaining about a coworker is energy you are stealing from your own dreams, your own family, and your own growth. You are losing your power. Most people are tired not because they work too hard, but because they are emotionally leaking everywhere. They are scattered. They are reacting to everything. And because of that, they build nothing. You have to become very careful with your energy. You have to look at a situation and ask, is this person worth the cost of my peace? And 9 times out of 10, the answer is absolutely not. This brings us to the most powerful weapon you have. A weapon so effective that it confuses and scares people who try to control you. Silence. We live in a world that tells you to hit back. We are told that if we do not respond, we are weak. But the masters, the wise ones, the warriors, they know the truth. Silence is not empty. It is full of answers. Silence is not giving up. It is the ultimate display of being in charge. When someone attacks you, they are looking for a reaction. They need your anger to feed their fire. It is like oxygen. If you cut off the oxygen, the fire dies. Imagine the scene. Someone is screaming at you, insulting you, trying hard to drag you down into the mud with them. They want you to yell back. They want you to lose control so they can point the finger and say, see, you are crazy too. But instead, you do nothing. You look them in the eye. You hold your ground and you say absolutely nothing. You deny them the satisfaction of your mess. You look at them with a calmness that is almost strange to them. Do you know what happens in that moment? They start to fall apart. Their ego panics because it is not getting the food it needs. Your silence forces them to sit alone with their own bad energy. This is the power of the observer. In ancient traditions, they teach that the loudest man in the room is the weakest, the one who constantly needs to prove his point, to defend his ego, to have the last word. He is a slave to his feelings. But the one who watches, he is free. When you can watch the storm of someone else's emotion without getting wet, you have won. You have to realize that most people are not actually attacking you. They are throwing their own pain onto you. They are handing you a bag of their own garbage. But just because they hand it to you does not mean you have to take it. You can look at the bag, see it for the trash that it is, and step over it. It was said beautifully that people only throw at you what they cannot carry themselves. Their insults are admissions. When they call you worthless, they are admitting their own feelings of worthlessness. When they attack who you are, they are showing the bad parts of themselves. When you understand this, when you truly see that their behavior is a sign of their own pain, you do not feel anger anymore. You feel pity, you feel sorry for them, and you cannot be angry at someone you feel sorry for. It changes everything. You stop being the victim of their bad behavior, and you become the witness to their struggle. You look at them and think it must be tiring to carry that much hate. It must be miserable to be that insecure. And in that moment of kindness, the anger goes away. You are no longer on their level fighting in the dirt. You are looking down from the mountain and they cannot touch you. But let us be real about the internal battle. It is easy to say be silent, but it is hard to do when your blood is boiling. This is where the separation of the ego and the true self becomes very important. The part of you that wants to scream, the part of you that feels disrespected is your ego. It is the weak little part that needs everyone to like it to feel real. The ego is scared of being seen as weak, but your soul, your true self, cannot be disrespected because it knows its own worth. You have to ask yourself a hard question. Do I want to be right or do I want to be at peace? You can win the argument and lose your night. You can prove your point and lose your calm. Is it worth it? The need to be right is a trap. It is a cage. The moment you let go of the need to convince people of your value, you become free. You stop explaining yourself to people who are dedicated to not understanding you. You stop wasting your best things on people who do not care. You must develop the mindset of a leader on a throne. Imagine you are sitting high up in your castle. Outside the walls, people are acting wild. They are screaming your name, throwing rocks, begging for you to come down and fight them. Now, does a leader climb down, open the gates, and start a fight in the mud with a peasant? No, he stays seated. He knows who he is. He does not need to go down to their level to prove his power. When you argue with a fool, you prove there are two. When you join in with bad energy, you weaken your own spirit. You have to protect your surroundings like your life depends on it, because it does. You become the average of the energy you stay around. If you are constantly around drama and negativity, you will eventually sink in it. You have to be very firm with your boundaries. This is not about being mean. It is about saving yourself. You have to learn the power of saying no. You have to learn the power of walking away. Walking away is not losing. Let me say that again. Walking away is not defeat. It is a smart move to protect your greatest treasure, your mind. Some people are addicted to fighting. They are drama junkies. If you stay in the room with them, you will get caught up in it. You have to leave. You have to block the number. You have to stop following them. You have to cut the connection. You do not owe anyone a chance to mess with your mind. And then comes the hardest part, the part that takes the most bravery, forgiveness. Now listen to me. I know you do not want to hear this. You think forgiveness is letting them go without a penalty. You think it is saying that what they did was okay. It is not. Forgiveness has nothing to do with them. Forgiveness is for you. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. It is like holding a hot coal in your hand, waiting to throw it at them, but you are the one getting burned. When you hold a grudge, you are tied to that person. You are pulling them around with you everywhere you go. They are living for free in your head, eating your food, sleeping in your bed, and taking up your thoughts. You have to kick them out. You have to cut the cord that binds you to the past. Forgiveness is the pair of scissors. It is you saying, I am done carrying this weight. I am putting it down. You do not do it because they said sorry. They might never say sorry. You do it because you deserve to travel without heavy bags. You have to accept that you might never get the ending you want. You might never get that apology. You might never get fairness in the way you want it. And you have to be okay with that. Your healing cannot wait for them to realize what they did. If you wait for them to fix what they broke, you will never heal. You have to be your own doctor. You have to be your own hero. This level of being in control, this state of being unbothered, is not a place you reach once and stay at forever. It is a daily practice. It is a muscle. You do not go to the gym once and stay fit forever. You have to train every day. You have to train your mind just like you train your body. You have to wake up every morning and decide who you are going to be. You can practice in your mind how you want to act in the future. You can close your eyes and see the person you want to be. See yourself in a traffic jam, calm and listening to music. See yourself getting a mean email and simply deleting it with a smile. See yourself facing the person who lied to you and feeling nothing but a lack of interest. Your brain does not know the difference between what is real and what is clearly imagined. If you practice peace, you will become peaceful. You are changing your brain. You are breaking the addiction to stress. You are teaching your body a new way to be. At first, it will feel strange. Your body will want a fight because it misses the rush. But you must stay strong. You must breathe. You must use that 5-second gap. Count it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Change your focus. Choose the new path. And slowly, day by day, you will notice a change. You will notice that the things that used to ruin your week now only last for a minute. You will notice that the comments that used to hurt you now just bounce off your skin. You will become solid, grounded, and steady like a very old tree. The winds will blow, the branches might shake, but the trunk does not move. You are building a fortress of peace, and inside that fortress, you are safe. You realize that no one can make you feel anything without your permission. That is the ultimate secret. It was never about them. It was always about you. It was always about your choice. So I want you to make a promise to yourself today. Decide right now that you are done being a puppet. Decide that you are done giving away your power. Decide that from this moment forward, you are the guard of your own mind. When the world acts badly, you act better. Not because you are better than them, but because you are protecting something they have lost. You are protecting your soul. You are protecting your light.